Hi guys, it's Wolver here guys. It is Thursday night. It's very hot. And I want to tell that I want to validate Sky's intel. Yes, it has started. Okay. I want you to remain in faith. Okay. It might be any hour, any day now that that opera will come out. Why do I want to send that opera? There's no necessity actually to release that opera. It's just something I wanted to do, right? And so as soon as we get those notifications, that's just our celebration. Our celebration that we can all celebrate, knowing that this has been completely released, right? It's no use actually on my behalf if my platform gets released, right? I'm not going to be singing an emperor or yellow victory sign or anything because it's not fair on you guys. It's got to be. We have to actually cross that finish line together. So as soon as those notifications do come out, that's to go to the redemption center. Then I'll be releasing that opera. Okay, so that's all from me, guys. Okay, and just we're not that far away, so everyone that can be blessed. So there are actually Taiwan, Tai 2. I'm hearing Tai 3. I've gone. So as you know, as soon as you get paid, everyone will be under NDA. Okay, so in case I'm under NDA, I already got precaution. I already got something planned anyway, so I won't be able to talk. Okay, so just to let you know. All right, look after yourself. Have faith in God. Okay, and this is God's blessing to us. And just remember why we are here, not just because of our family or loved ones, we're also here to help humanity as well. A lot of people are hurting right now. All right, medbeds are ready to get released right now. So as soon as we get those notifications coming through, then those medbeds will be open, so you guys can go to the medbeds and get healed. All right, guys, look after yourself. God bless you. Bye bye. Guys, it's Wolver here, guys. First of all, I'd like to apologise for for the way I acted actually this morning. This thing with the particular person just rubbed me up the wrong way. It's not the first time it's happened. But anyway, I want to move from that. I want to be talking about that, but just my apologies anyway, guys. But just letting you know, guys, that we are close. We're definitely close. I'm not going to mention the dates or anything like that, right? I'm not spilling out a opium or anything like that, guys. All right? We are definitely close, okay? I was in a big meeting today, and it's all looking good, guys, okay? Just stay the course, have faith. This is definitely 1,000% coming, all right? Take care, guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
All right, let's get into our intel segment. Let's start with bondholders. We heard that bondholders' funds to their accounts were moving starting sometime yesterday or last night and are continuing to be placed into bondholder accounts, also intermediary accounts, and so on. So that's happening now, and that's working to where bondholders have been notified by email that they should have access to those funds in their account on Saturday. So that's 2 days away from today. They should have access to funds on Saturday. All right, let's go back and see where we stand in Tier 4A and B. Tier 4A, we tend to call the Admirals Groups. Tier 4B, we call it the Internet Group. Wells Fargo knows it as Tier 4, and they don't distinguish that somebody has used the term Tier 4 Group, which is kind of the combination of A and B. They're calling it Tier 4 Group. So we've heard early this morning that we would be starting in a couple of days. And then as it worked through the day into the afternoon, the intel got a little bit better and a little bit more precise in terms of our timing. So we move on through, and we've heard from different sources, about 4 or 5 different sources that came in with very similar information. And the overall consensus is that we're to be, okay, let's back up one sec. This is specific to Tier 4B, the internet group, that it was activated at noon today. Noon today on Thursday, the 13th of February, Tier 4B was activated. Now that means it's ready to be started or ready for us to receive notifications. Okay, so that's good, and that started today. While we're talking about what happened today, at 1 o'clock this afternoon, 1 o'clock today, the NESARA funds started going out, and I'm calling this aspect of NESARA funds our reclamation and restitution allowance. Or let's call it restitution and reconciliation allowance. That's another R&R that I sort of use occasionally. R&R funds, it looks like, have started going out today at 1 p.m. to the most dire need that they're aware of, meaning dire financial need. And I don't know if it's how many people, I don't know where it started, or anything other than that. But know that the R&R funds have begun. And I think for us, that is part of the internet group, when we go in for our into our redemption centers for appointments to exchange currencies and to redeem our ZIM, when we go in, our R&R should be in our quantum accounts. In other words, it should already be placed in our quantum account. All we'll need to do to see it and to gain access to it is activate our quantum card. You guys remember how we're going to do that very quickly. Biometric fingerprint, new username and password for the quantum, a 5-digit PIN code, a brand new email. I recommend Gmail for that. Brand new email and a new email password. Boom, 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 boom. That's what you need to get into and activate your quantum card. Did I mention the biometric? No, I didn't. Biometric fingerprint or thumbprint. Either one should be kept and essentially held in one of 3 computer chips in this quantum card. Okay? And you don't lose that card. You keep it very safe. You don't carry it around with you. It's only used to move funds from the quantum account to your Wells Fargo, in my case, Wells Fargo primary account or secondary accounts, to move it to the bank account. And as of, I believe it was yesterday, banks can no longer willy-nilly look into and track our accounts. They can't see the money that's in our accounts because, I'm going to say as of today, not yesterday, but either way, we are now in a process of being no longer mirrored in the quantum financial account, but our funds in our bank accounts already in the quantum financial account, in our quantum bank accounts. That's something that is taking place now because as we speak, they are activating the FinTech system, which is connected to the QFS, the quantum financial system, and the Starlink satellite system. But the part of the FinTech, FINTECH, the FinTech system is the QRP digital coin or token currency that is used and is being used to back our USTN, our United States Treasury note, money for our new USN currency. So the whole thing is coming together now where we are, for the first time, fully integrated now into the quantum financial system, which is happening now around the world. Now, will it take very long for it to be fully, let's call it acclimated? Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take to go around the globe to get it done. But I do know that now we are no longer mirrored, but our accounts are actually part of the quantum financial system. And I like the idea that the XRP is being used to back the value of our currency, and it's being introduced and held through the FinTech system. It's complicated, and I think I I understand the concept of it, but it's definitely something that's pretty cool. Now, so that happened today. That activation, if you will, of the QFS and in conjunction with the FinTech, so on, is going on now. All right, let's go back and see where that puts us. Now, we know what that is. The next thing that we're hearing was that we heard from a couple of different sources yesterday we would be going in 2 days. I got that last night. Then we heard today, as of noon today, remember what happened at noon, we will get started in 24 hours with notifications. So we can look for our notifications probably as early as around lunchtime tomorrow, Friday, the 14th, which is Valentine's Day. Now, here's the thing. We know Redemption Center staff, some may go in earlier, but we know the leaders are going in at 10 o'clock in the morning into redemption centers. We know that the rates have come up on the screens, but we also know that the rates are fluctuating, trading back and forth at a very high rate of speed right now. But as that keeps trading through the night and into tomorrow, it will probably settle in. If not tomorrow, it should settle in on Saturday. Which brings me to the next piece of intel that we received from a U.S. Space Force contact that said that we would be exchanging, and talking about Tier 4B, those of us in the internet group, we will be exchanging, according to this source, no later than Saturday, which, remember, Saturday is the 15th of the month. Now, the last source that we heard from was saying that we would be notified tomorrow and exchanging starting Saturday. So the last two sources agreed on the start date of Saturday. Even though the other ones were leading up to that, these two were saying that we would be getting notified tomorrow. It could be around lunchtime, around noon. Could be a little before, could be a little later, but around noon, and then set our appointments tomorrow for starting Saturday. Okay? And that means that we also would go through the weekend, set appointments for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, for 2 weeks. It looks like we're exchanging for at least 2 weeks. Some areas of the country will go 19 days of exchanges. Some areas of the country will go 6 or 7 days. It just depends on how many currency holders are living in those areas and whether or not ZIM holders, which they want the ZIM holders in first, guys. They want the ZIM holders because the value of the ZIM is so great, and we will help absolutely hydrate the banks again. We are the ones that are bringing the value back to the banks, where they will have the funds that we take from our quantum accounts and put into our bank accounts. That will help the banks to reach a certain level of liquidity. So we've got bondholders to receive their liquidity in their accounts and have access to it sometime on Saturday. And we have ourselves getting notified tomorrow, setting appointments to exchange starting Saturday, in which case we will also have our liquidity. But our liquidity, for the most part, is being put on a credit debit card. You take the quantum account, we move funds from the quantum after our currency exchange, and the ZIM is redeemed. All of it goes into the quantum account. The quantum account draws no interest. It's a safe space for your money. Then you move for the first 6 months. No, I'm going to say the first 60 days, you'll move a smaller amount of your total, a much smaller amount of your total if you're a ZIM holder. You move millions to maybe a few $1 billion into your primary bank account, and then from there, you spend it off using credit debit card. Obviously, you could get checks for your account if you want, or you can wire funds if you have a large amount it's not practical to send any other way but a bank wire. And those bank wires are essentially very quick moving these days. Let's see, that gives us the timeline that really started today at noon with the activation of Tier 4B, the internet group, and I believe we're going alongside in parallel to the admirals groups and everything that would be considered 4A, Tier 4A. So we know some of the admirals groups, which they called privates, because it's considered a private group, started being paid out yesterday, and more were going to be paid out today, and probably more would be paid out for a period of 2 or 3 days. So if you're in the admirals group, you should be looking for an email to confirm that funds, and in my opinion, unless you didn't put very much with the admiral at all, but if you put any Zim or anything of any size with the admiral, you would get an email that would tell you, yeah, the funds are in your quantum account. Just like we're going to have our funds placed into a quantum account, since they've already ponied up their currency with the admiral years ago, some of them 6, 8, 10 years ago. That means that those funds in the exchange value should go into the quantum account, and then they access their funds from quantum just like we would by activating a brand new quantum card and then moving those funds into their bank account. Okay? So that's really a parallel thing that we're going to see with us. Now, bondholders get access to their funds on Saturday. Those of us who get exchanged on Saturday will have access to our funds on Saturday and can move some and spend some with our credit debit card with Wells Fargo. And then, of course, you can move and have up to 3 different banks attached to your quantum card. Okay? I'm going to keep everything with Wells to start with and see how they treat me and see if I want to keep it all there or if I want to diversify into 2 or 3 banks. So the onus is on Wells to perform for us, and I think they will. I think they'll want to keep as many customers as they can with them. So let's see how they do. Let's see how the wealth management or private bankers work with us. They're actually called premier bankers, premier, because we're premier customers with them. All right, so that's really what I wanted to say tonight. Let's see if there's anything else that comes up.
It's Wolverine here, guys. I posted that intel that I just sent to you guys. That came from the Spanish channel, and that's exactly what I did. Actually, on the top of it, right? I forwarded actually in the chosen room. There is no mention of Ginger on that particular intel. It came from the Latino channel. Okay, enough is enough. I don't want to hear about Ginger anymore. Right? Anyone that posts Ginger's post actually on the Wolverine Den to chosen actually the admins have been warned. There's Ginger is not allowed in my channel. Okay, I don't care if she's actually forwarded, actually came from X or whatever. I don't want to see her name. Okay, she brings bad vibes. All right, take care, guys. Hi guys, it's Wolverine here, guys. I'm just finished work and I'm here to see Captain America. Just waiting for the screen to start, and just letting you know, guys, God is with us. God has heard us. I actually didn't want to say anything, but I said to some of my colleagues, I said, let Bruce say it, because if we say it, it doesn't come out, then I just am sick of getting attacked. But I like to support Bruce's intel. It's online actually what we received. Okay, guys, so just get ready. We're about to move. Take care. God bless you.
Confidential information leaked. Everything has been activated. It is now a fact. Dear brothers, from the table of Antonio Diogenes, we declare that the world is witnessing the most transcendental event in financial history. With absolute certainty, we announce that the redemption process has reached a definitive stage. The order for massive payments to all beneficiaries has been issued, and the global economy has entered an unprecedented phase of transformation thanks to the full implementation of the quantum financial system. The quantum platforms have been fully activated, enabling the instant and precise distribution of funds worldwide. The money is in the accounts. In an unprecedented decision, the world's largest banks have recognized the supremacy of this new economic model and have aligned all their operations with the directives established by the central negotiation table. However, you must remember that this process is gradual. First, all whale funds must be liquidated before continuing with the commissioners and then the beneficiaries listed in the grids. Finally, divine grace will reach everyone, but again, this is a gradual process. Fraud, arbitrary confiscations, and any interference attempts by those who have controlled the economy from the shadows for centuries have been completely eliminated. The whales, who have played a key role in this process, have already received their compensation in absolute confidentiality. The activation of quantum platforms has allowed these funds to reach those involved directly, without intermediaries, through smart contracts. Each person will receive what has been established in their participation in the process, ensuring that prosperity reaches those who have been called to transform the world. This marks the end of scarcity, the end of manipulation, and the beginning of a new era of true abundance for humanity. The OPPT has been officially recognized, and its public disclosure is practically imminent. Humanity is being guided into a new paradigm where the intervention of higher forces, beings of light, is accelerating the implementation of revolutionary technologies. Free energy, quantum healing, and barrier-free communication are now accessible to all. This is the moment when humanity will be freed from the chains imposed by the old control systems. The dawn of a new era is now a tangible reality. The mechanisms of enslavement have been dismantled, along with the power structures that subjected the world for generations. From now on, prosperity will be the new standard, and economic equity is assured for every human being. There is no turning back. Financial institutions, governments, and society as a whole are witnessing this irreversible change. The funds allocated to humanitarian projects are ready to be executed. Every initiative, every action, and every act of kindness will have unlimited economic backing. Global well-being will no longer be just a dream, but the foundation of a new humanity. Borders will disappear, separation will cease to exist, and collaboration will become the new paradigm. From the table of Antonio Diogenes, we proclaim with honor and gratitude that, with this blessing in our hands, we will help all our members, those who have believed in us, those who have sent us their good energy, those who have supported us with their words of encouragement and unwavering faith. We extend our infinite gratitude to you. Your trust has been the spark that ignited this great awakening. Thanks to you, we move forward. For you, we will always be here, and we will share the grace of the Father with all his children. Victory is already ours. The new era has begun, and humanity is ready to receive its legacy of light and abundance. Sincerely, Antonio Diogenes.
We're going to start with Barzani arrives in Germany to attend the security conference. Now, this is with European. They invited him last minute. They want to have him there to talk about security in the region, etc. This is important because of the liberation, the different factions and stuff in northern Iraq. They are bringing him into the fold. It seems to be all of Europe. And when I say that, like, it gets even deeper. All of Europe seems to have suddenly embraced doing everything they can to get Iraq up to speed as quickly as possible. Which, boy, I tell you, that gives me the fuzzies. Sudanese and his Czech counterpart sponsored the signing of an agreement and 5 memorandums of understanding. I told you this morning that they had representatives in the Czech. It appears that they're going to have a lot of trade going back and forth. Perhaps many of the Iraqi goods, natural resources are going to be entering the market through Czechoslovakia. That's the only thing that makes sense as I watch this. I'm wondering if they are busy working on strengthening the Eastern European nations. It would create a buffer of stability between Russia and Europe. So, I mean, it makes sense. And tremendous opportunity. Iraq achieves historic milestone with their first IMO certified auditor. What does this mean? That means their ports of entry, etc., ships, shipping, they are now coming up to world standards. Borders, border crossing, ships, think of customs and borders. So this one is important because we were told that they would secure their borders before. I don't mean like shut them down, meaning they would be able to secure trade, flow, money, etc., through the borders, and they are now there on international standards. Boy, I tell you, it just keeps getting better for Iraq on the international side. British business, heightened interest in Iraq following the Prime Minister's visit. Prime Minister visited Britain. Bam, all of a sudden, they had all kinds of people in industry in the UK and Britain that want to cut deals with Iraq. So we're watching that international movement. I know I'm running fast. You want to add anything?
No, not right yet. So I think you're right on there.
Yeah, I did forget to do the whole news banner thing, I think, again. Did I?
Yeah, you did. You put it up there.
Yeah. Oh, it's because I somehow erased it and clicked the wrong button. All right, no news banner. I'll have to recreate a new one later. So we're just going to have to keep running without it. Trump said BRICS is dead. Nah, well, XRP Guru, that's a long one. We've talked about it a lot. Although, guys, I need to back up right here, right now. Rewind to the very first seconds. Guess who showed up at the IRS today? This is coming from multiple IRS employees. Doge. Doge has appeared in the IRS. Just thought you would enjoy that, folks. All right, let's keep moving. Trump announces reciprocal tariffs to counter global trade barriers. I love this one. I mean, I've been waiting. I've been telling you folks that the tariff war, we were taking the rough end of the stick on that one. Trump administration is aiming to remedy unfair global trade with reciprocal tariffs. In other words, they're freaking out because we're going to start charging them what they charge us. Pure freak out. I kept telling everybody, all you have to do is pick them up. I did a deep dive during COVID. It was for a business thing that I was writing for a company. And I did a deep dive, and I found out just how grossly unbalanced the tariffs are between Canada and the U.S. And that was 4 years ago. Nobody corrected anything. It had been going on for multiple presidencies. And that's just one country. It seems to be systemic to how we handle business in this country. Very anti-American, which is brutalizing the American employees or the American workers. So I enjoyed this one, a little bit of a deep dive, guys.
Forwarded from Raging Patriot 17. Read this closely. The US is forcing them to release the new rate. KTFA. Post 20. America stops the dollar cash to Iraq. Will the dollar rise against the dinar? In a surprising move, reports indicate that the United States has decided to stop sending cash dollars to Iraq, a decision that could have profound effects on the Iraqi economy and its financial market. This shift raises many questions about its impact on the value of the Iraqi dinar, currency markets, and the local banking sector. What is a cash dollar? Cash dollars refer to money that is physically sent to Iraq by the United States, usually through banks or other economic mechanisms. This cash flow has played an important role in supporting the Iraqi economy, especially in the light of the economic challenges facing the country. The reason behind the American decision, sources indicate that the US decision comes in the context of economic and diplomatic pressures on Iraq, which include issues related to the national economy and monetary policies. Some reports also indicate that the United States may seek to limit the use of the dollar in Iraqi financial transactions in an attempt to enhance the stability of the local currency and reduce dependence on foreign currencies. Impact of the decision on the Iraqi dinar. The decision is expected to cause significant volatility in the local currency market. The US dollar is one of the main currencies traded in Iraq, and stopping its flow of cash could lead to a shortage in supply, which could push the dollar higher against the dinar. The impact of the rise on the Iraqi market. The increase in the value of the dollar may lead to higher prices in the Iraqi market, which will exacerbate the burden of inflation and affect the ability of citizens to purchase basic commodities. This may also indirectly affect economic activity, especially in sectors that rely heavily on imports. Are there any solutions? The Iraqi government will face a major challenge in dealing with these developments. The next phase may require developing new economic and financial strategies to mitigate the impact of sudden changes in currency rates. It is necessary to have a move towards strengthening the Iraqi dinar and diversifying the sources of the national economy away from heavy reliance on the dollar. Conclusion. In light of these developments, it will be important to monitor the short and long-term effects of this decision. Iraq needs decisive steps to secure the stability of its national currency and protect its economy from the repercussions of the decision to stop the use of the cash dollar. Free will empowers us to forge our own paths. The decision to walk in darkness or light is deeply personal, yet it carries immense responsibility. While darkness presents itself as an alluring, albeit destructive force, it is transient in the presence of light. Darkness cannot exist where there is light, suggesting the eventual triumph of love and light. By Joseph Keel.